Welcome to my tutorial number 13. It's titled How to Make a Maze. Start by opening a new Flash document. Layer 1 we'll call Ball, B-A-L-L. In our Libraries panel, we'll make a new symbol. It's going to be a movie clip. Capital B, A-L-L underscore MC. Use your oval tool, black stroke, red fill. Hold the shift down and make a ball. Leave the mouse key go, leave the shift key go. Selection tool, highlight it, and make sure this lock is on and you have those two lines, and we'll make it 15 by 15 pixels. Both change. Let's go down here to this stroke size here and change that to 0.25. While it's still selected, come up to Modify, Convert to Symbol, Button, make sure button is selected, and call it Ball, B-A-L-L underscore B-T-N. So I have a ball button inside of a ball movie clip. Go to Scene 1, select Frame 1 of the ball layer, and drag the ball onto the scene right now. Anywhere will do. Pick up the instance name that we're going to use, copy it, and paste it in here. On a previous video, it was the my tutorial 12. It was talking about barriers to block a movie clip. I gave you some action script, and I'm going to show you it again. So open our actions panel and type in this code. On the previous video, video 12, the one on barriers, it explains all this, but I'll give you a quick explanation. It's a function, F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N, on enter frame, so that means it's going to happen over and over and over again. Small o, capital E, capital F, open and close bracket, and an open curly bracket, and way down the bottom is the closed curly bracket for that, and in between you have four separate distinct if statements. One controls is the left key, the right key, the up key, the down key. These are the arrow keys, and the left key will move the ball to the left 3 pixels, the right key will move it to the right, the up key will move it up 3 pixels, and the down key will move it down 3 pixels. Back to scene 1. We now want to make a movie clip that is going to be our walls. Open a new symbol. It is going to be a movie clip, and it is just going to be called wall, W-A-L-L underscore MC, W-A-L-L underscore MC. Okay. Inside that movie clip wall, we're going to make a wall. So pick up your rectangle tool. I want no stroke, so right here pick up no stroke, and for the fill I want it to be blue, and I'm just going to make one block. It doesn't matter anything about the block. There it is there. Pick up my selection tool, highlight it, go up to the modify panel, convert this to a symbol. It's going to be a button, W-A-L-L underscore B-T-N. Go back to scene 1, and here is our ball. Let's open make sure the balls layer is selected, and let's make a new layer, and we'll call this path. Now this is going to be the path that is the correct path for the maze. Lock all the layers except the path layer. Select frame 1. Make your stage small so you see the bulk of it, and let's make it at this point in time 700 by 550. Okay, and pick up the line tool, and I'm going to keep this maze very simple. You can make it complex, but I'm going to keep it simple. So let's pick up a stroke around 30. That's going to be a nice stroke. And pick up a grayish color and draw the path where you want to be the usable path of your maze. I'm going to go down to 25, and I'm going to start in this corner, and my maze is going to go like this. Up here like that, keep them all right angles, like that, up here, over here, down here, and out. As I said, I'm keeping it very simple. Lock that path layer. It's still selected. Put in a new layer and call this where the dead ends are. That's where, if you go, it's not going to work. So select frame 1 that dead ends. Pick your line tool up again. Give it a slightly different color, gray, a little bit darker, I think this is. Yep. And put in the areas where you don't want the maze to get you to the end. I'll just put a couple in, like I said. I don't want to make it too complex because of time. At that dead end, and this will give you the idea. And we'll put another one here, and from this you'll get the idea of what you need to do. So what's on the screen now is the areas where the ball can go, whether they be the right way or the wrong way. Lock that dead end layer. Pick up your selection tool again. On the dead ends layer is still selected. All my layers are locked. Insert and call this walls, W-A-L-L, wall vertical. Wall V-E-R. That's my vertical walls. Ones are going up and down. Select frame 1, and we're going to start from this side and make our vertical walls. So I'm going to drag this wall in here, and I'm going to resize it to fit in here. The first thing, I know the height of the stage is 550, so come down here, unlock the lock, and I can make the height 550, and that will satisfy the height. So I can just drag that up, and I think that looks pretty reasonable. I'm happy with that. It's selected. It's a movie clip, so let's give it an instance name. So we'll copy this basic name, paste it in here, and where it says wall, I'm going to call it ver, V-E-R-L1. So that's that piece right there, wall vertical L1. I'm now going to make another one. So grab this wall again, bring it in, and put it right here. And I want to fill this whole section here in. So I'm going to use my transform tool, make my stage a little bit larger, grab this end, get it all the way up, go this way. Now if I just pull it now, this will expand in both directions, but if I take this dot and put it here, I can pull down on this and the top part will stay, and that sits where I'd like to have it. Let's copy this one, name, copy, paste, and I'm going to call this wall vertical, V-E-R 2. I'm going back here to this one, and I'm just going to call it wall vertical 1. So I got a vertical 1, a vertical 2. Let's look next one. I'm going to put one in here. So grab a wall, put it here. Transform tool. Size it up. And you can see it's too long, so if I pull this and leave it up here, this end won't change. So I can now bring this up like that. I can do the same thing sideways. I can take that dot, and when I get this over right to, oh, I'm all right. I'll put this dot here, and then I can just drag this one. I'm going to call this copy wall vert 3 underscore MC. Okay, don't worry about not being exactly. And I think I'll just do one more before I break and do the rest of the vertical walls. And I'll put one here. Again, because I know this height of the stage is 550, I can go right down here under height and write 550 and select that and drag that up in place. And I needed this to be a little bit wider. There it is, and I'm just going to tab that over. And this one's going to be copy this name, copy, paste, and this is going to be wall vertical VER 4. So I have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and now I'm going to pause and put the rest of the vertical walls in. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6 vertical walls, and don't worry about these gaps, it just makes the path wider. I'm going to lock this layer, select a new layer and call it wall horizontal, WALLHOR, select frame 1. We're going to use the same movie clip. Starting up top, I'm going to put it up here. Oop. And I know that my stage is 700 long, so I'm going to make sure this is unlocked, and my width I'm going to make 700. And I can either use my selection tool or tab that over. And I'm just going to come down with these walls, instance name, copy, paste, wall HOR, HOR1 underscore MC. Going to bring another wall in, put it here. My transform tool, lengthen it. You can see it needs to be tabbed to the right a little bit. Take it right into, you can see I'm not going to cover anything up, so I can take that right over into, till I touch, make sure I touch both of those blues. Select this one, I'm going to drop it down just slightly, so it sort of lines up to some degree. Copy this name, paste it, call it wall horizontal HOR2 underscore MC. I'm going to put one here, one here, one here, one here, and one. So I'm going to close for now, and I'll be back when I have my horizontal walls completed. I have all my walls done, I believe, and if I start up here, that's horizontal 1, this one is horizontal 2, and you can see they can extend into the other ones. This is horizontal 3, it extends a little bit into that one. This is 4, oh, I have 2 there, horizontal 3, horizontal 3, so I got to change that one. This is horizontal 4, horizontal 5, horizontal 6, horizontal 7, but I have 2 3s, so this one has to be renamed an 8. So I have 8 horizontals, and I just want to check here. 8 horizontal. I'm unlocking the vertical walls. I have vertical 1, vertical 2. No, that's not a vertical. Vertical 5, vertical 3, vertical 6, and a vertical 4. So I have 6 and 8. I have 14, I believe, total. Now we want to write some action script. Now the ball has disappeared because the ball is down here. So expand your timeline, pull this line down, click on the balls layer and take that to the top. And while we have this up the top, click on your actions panel, click on that first layer. I don't want my action script on this layer with my ball. Open it up, cut all this, and open a new layer, call it action script. You probably already realized that and done that. And open up the actions panel and paste that in there. This layer here, call it action script, AS. Lock it. Now I want to do one thing now to make it easier when we test this movie out. Each of these walls, I want to give them their name, so when I'm testing it out, I'll know what wall I'm hitting. You'll understand more when we actually do it. Make sure all the layers are locked. Select the vertical layer, insert a layer, and call this VER num, vertical numbers. And we're going to, on this layer, write the numbers of each of these vertical walls. You have to unlock the vertical wall layer, but make sure that the only layer that's selected right now is so we have 2 layers unlocked, vertical numbers, vertical walls. I'll have to be careful here. There's my vertical numbers. Click on this and I can see that's vertical 1. So I'm going to select the vertical numbers layer and pick up my text tool. Make sure I got some color I can see on that, and I'm going to use a yellow, see if that works. And I know this wall is vertical 1. So in here I'm going to write V1. I'm going to now go back to the vertical walls vertical. See how they're all hit, so hit the selection tool to unhighlight them, click over here, select this one. This is number 2. Go back up here, get on the numbers. You don't want to put it on this layer, and call this V2. V2. Let's make this 25%. The next one I think would be here. So pick up your walls vertical layer. Yeah, I can see them. This is the next one. And this one is V5. Select your numbers layer. Over here, take your selection tool, put in V5, pick up your selection tool and drag that over to here on my V5. Okay, V5, right there. Okay, and I'm going to do this for the remainder of my vertical walls, and then I'll be back. I believe I have all my numbers in. and I believe they're all on the proper layer, and one way of proving that is to press this, see this little eyeball? Click on the V numbers right below the I, and it'll make all these numbers disappear. If they all disappear, you know they're not on your walls layer, so that's good for that. I'm now going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up to the horizontal wall, insert a layer, call it horizontal numbers, hor-num, N-U-M, hor-num, and make sure all the layers are locked except the two that I'm going to be using, these two, and I'm going to do the same thing with my horizontal numbers as I did with the vertical numbers, and I think there was 8 of them, and I'll get back when I have that done. I'm going to do the last two. I'm selecting this one. It's 5. Go back to my numbers panel, on my numbers layer, text tool. This is H5. Pick up my selection tool, drag that onto right there, H5, tab it where I think it is, and the last one in my case that I haven't got done is H6. Pick up my numbers layer, my tool, text tool, H6, and drag that in. These won't be staying, and I now have my 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, I now have my 8 horizontal and 6 verticals. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to, under the I and my horizontal numbers, get rid of those. And I'm also going to, under my vertical numbers, so there I have 2 horizontal numbers, see that? That are on the wrong layers. This one's on the wrong layer, and that's important. That's on the wrong layer, the H1. So I know it's going to be a horizontal, and it's going to be put on this layer by mistake, see that? Lock all the layers, unlock the horizontal walls, click that one frame, make sure you select just this, nothing else selected, right click, cut it, lock that layer, unlock the numbers layer, first frame, paste in place. That one's done. And let's go back here and turn this off. And there was one down here we had that shouldn't be. Here it is here. Unlock the horizontal walls. See, all kinds of things are selected, so select off here, click on just that, that's not the number, there it is there. When you get the crosshairs, right click, cut it, make sure you lock this, all the layers, unlock the numbers layer, right click, paste in, select the first frame, click off so you have nothing selected, right click, paste in place, and there's my 7. Lock all the layers, lock all the eyes, open the eyes up, and there we have our, all of our blocks are numbered, so when we write our script it will be a bit easier. Let's quickly test the movie. The only thing we're going to see is the ball moving left and right and up and down, but we can see all of our barriers are here, they're labeled, there's our paths, and it can move left or right, up or down. Now your paths may be a different color, we'll straighten that out later on in the video. This tutorial is longer than I thought it would be. It's going to have to be 2 parts. There will be a part 2. It'll be tutorial 13A, titled How to Make a Maze Part 2. Hope you've learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learn.